A reading from the book of Job, Job chapter 2, verse 1 through 13. Once again, the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. And the Lord said to Satan, "Whence do you come?" And Satan answered the Lord and said, "From roaming the earth and patrolling it." And the Lord said to Satan, "Have you noticed my servant Job, and that there is no one on earth like him, faultless and upright, fearing God and avoiding evil? He still holds fast to his innocence, although you incited me against him to ruin him without cause." And Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin, all that a man has will he give for his life. But now put forth your hand and touch his bone and his flesh, and surely he will blaspheme you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "He is in your power, only spare his life." So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with severe boils from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. And he took a potsherd to scrape himself as he sat among the ashes. Then his wife said to him, "Are you still holding to your innocence? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "Are even you going to speak as senseless women do? We accept good things from God. Should we not accept evil?" Through all this, Job said nothing sinful. Now, when 3 of Job's friends heard of all the misfortune that had come upon him, they set out each one from his own place: Eliphaz from Teman, Bildad from Shu, and Zophar from Nemath. They met and journeyed together to give him sympathy and comfort. But when at a distance they lifted up their eyes and did not recognize him, they began to weep aloud. They tore their cloaks and threw dust upon their heads. Then they sat down upon the ground with him 7 days and 7 nights, but none of them spoke a word to him, for they saw how great was his suffering. We hear in this book of Job about the struggling of Job, about how he was a righteous man, and yet he lost his children and his possessions. And then finally, he loses his health. And his wife, who is still there with him, says, "Why don't you curse God and die?" And I think that this is something that we ourselves can think about. That we ourselves can say, God is giving me bad things. Why should I like him? Why should I worship him? Why should I give him thanks? He is giving me bad things. Why am I supposed to give him thanks? But Job, he says something profound. We accept good things from God. Why not bad? Job knew that he was innocent, and he knew that God was good. And yet he did not know how it was that God is good, and he was good, and bad things were happening to him. So this is something that we ask ourselves. How do good things happen to bad people? How do good things happen even when we are doing everything right? Why is it not that good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people? This is the idea of karma. And yet we, as Christians, do not believe in karma. Even in the Jewish religion, they propose this idea, this book of Job, to say, look, someone is doing something good. He is faultless. He is the best man on the earth. And something bad happens to him. Now, we see this also with Jesus. That Jesus is a righteous man. That he is without sin. That he is perfect. and yet he is crucified. He is crucified. And so we have this idea that someone who was perfect, someone who was sinless, that he accepted both good things and bad things from his Father. So we see Jesus say, Lord, what should I say? Father, save me from this hour? No. For it is for this hour that I have come, for this hour. Lord, glorify your name. We also see Jesus say, Lord, if it is your will, take this cup from me. But not my will, but yours be done. Finally, we hear on the cross something that seems to be contradictory. Jesus says to his Father, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? I think that many of us at times feel forsaken. And we can take comfort in this idea that Jesus himself says, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? Now Jesus here is quoting a psalm that starts in the pits of despair, but it ends in joy. It ends in hope. It ends in assurance that the victory belongs to the Lord. No matter what is happening in our lives and in our society, we can take hope that God's is the victory, and we can take comfort. We can take comfort that Jesus too one time said, my God, why have you forsaken me? We can take comfort in the fact that we can be honest with God. Say, God, I am angry with you. God, I feel like you have forsaken me. God, I feel like I am all alone. God, I do not feel your presence. And we can say all of this because we have confidence in God, because he is our Father, and because we can be honest with our Father.